back to my YouTube channel, #Moviebae. I am Moviebae, and in this video, I am going to be recapping and reviewing episodes 9 through 12 of season 6, 5? Damn, what season is this? Of The Circle, goddammit. But before we get to it though, I want y'all to drop down and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Because here on Moviebae, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television. And if that's the type of content that you like, you might as well hit the subscribe button and stick around. And if you find yourself enjoying my commentary along the way, don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button and or drop a comment down below. Now, let's go ahead and get into episode 9. We all know that Sasha was eliminated. That is a tongue twister. But of course, before he left, he got to leave a video message, and he mentioned wanting to start a newbie rebellion. Now, this rebellion shook up the house for the next 4 episodes. So Jen is denying that Shubi came to see them, just in case that they got out that Shubi left the person they saw with a special privilege, and they didn't want anybody to know that they had that privilege, obviously. Marvin wants to know more about the newbie rebellion, but Tom decides to take a shot at Marvin for changing the subject. So Marvin decides he's going to shoot back about a newbie going to see a newbie, and well, yeah, that bond is over. And it's perfect because Jen gets no heat. And they just let Tom take the fall. Keep all of that in mind. So circle chats for this episode. We have Tamira to Jen. Now, Tamira is so gung-ho on wanting to know why Jen thinks that she's two-faced. And of course, Jen just answers politically, that like Jen always does. And Tamira thinks that Jen is full of bullshit. And I personally feel like she approached the conversation too heated. Like you showing your cards, sis. And because she did that, Jen continued to downplay everything that she was saying. And on top of that, she leaves the chat. Boom. Now, Tom decides that he wants to message Raven. And he wants to tell Raven about his suspicions of Marvin. Tom breaks bro code 100%. He tells Raven that Marvin was texting him, telling him, bragging and boasting about the pictures that Tamira sent to him after their date. And of course, Raven is shocked and she thanks Tom for his honesty. Now, what I want to point out is Tom and Raven, they keep mentioning Marvin having that he is a feminist in his profile. And I just want to let everybody know, being a feminist is someone who advocates for the equality of women's rights. That's it. It doesn't mean that they not a dog or they don't cheat or they still not a fucking man. It just means that they think women should have the same rights as men. Period. So I hate that they keep saying, oh, he say he a feminist, but he treat women like this. That does not equate to the definition of a feminist. I just wanted to put that out there. Speaking of Marvin, let's get into his chat with Chaz. Now, I don't know why y'all, but Marvin is so confused about why he dropped so long in the ratings. Even though in the Savage Question game, people were sending him messages about him being a player. How is 2 and 2 not equaling 4, Marvin? I'm a little bit lost. But anyways, he thanks Chaz for saving him in the end. And Chaz tells him that the reason why you dropped in the ratings, Marvin, because obviously you can't see it. I don't know what's going on. But you are misleading women. And Chaz tells Marvin that he needs to apologize to especially Raven. Now, the circle gets an alert, and it's time for Jennifer to head into the inner circle. They get to choose which profile that they want to hack with the knowledge that a hacker will be announced to the group later on in the game. So they decide that they want to choose Chaz because everyone loves and trusts Chaz. So no matter who they decide to talk to, they will believe the information that is coming from Chaz's profile. So they decided they wanted to message Sam and tell Sam that Sasha came to see Chaz. And while Sasha was there, Sasha threw Tamira under the bus, saying that she was gung-ho for the newbie rebellion. And that just turns Sam up the wall, thinking that Tamira is sneaky and playing friendly. But in all, she wants to get the OGs out of the house. I personally think that it was a good plan, especially with Tamira coming for Jen so much with the heat that same day. The circle chats continue for this episode, and Oliver decides that he wants to message Raven. They talk about dancing, and Oliver wants to be put down with Chaz. Now, half of this is true and half of this is gameplay. However, I kind of shipped them when Oliver came into the house, and I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to assume that because they're both black and they're both gay that they should be together. But I thought the same thing. I'm like, why can't a little showman start, I think, between the two of them? But then, of course, later on this episode, Chaz politely reminded us that he indeed had a fiance on the single season. Anyways, so there is an animal instincts party, and the only important information that came from this is Oliver shot his shot publicly to Chaz, and Tom shows us that he is indeed the real Slim Shady. So after the animal party, Marvin says the vibes are good. It's a good time to reach out for Raven. So she reluctantly opens the chat, but he apologizes, and he's all sad and serious faced. And Raven is hurt, and she's laughing through her pain like, you single, boo, do you, ha, ha. But girl, we know that you hurt. We've all been there trying to laugh through our pain. I feel you, Raven. I do. And y'all, this scene really made me sad because you could tell she was hurt. It was like the disrespect of it all. The fact that I had to find out from another bitch instead of you telling me like what was game. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell Marvin is a simp and he ain't never ran game before. So you could tell he was genuinely like trying to fix what was going on. Probably for his relationship with Raven and because he hurt himself in the game. So she said to herself, Raven was like, if Marvin had reached out before Tom did, telling me that he was boasting about Tamira, we probably could have fixed our relationship. But she forgives Marvin and tells him that she could never trust him again. And that is the end of episode 9. With the start of episode 10, Jen decides that she's going to message Tom and tell Tom that Tamira came for her. And Tom tells Jen not to worry about it. He got her back. Marvin decides that it's his turn to apologize to Tamira now. And she says that she forgives him just so she can stay high in his ratings. And then finally, Raven decides to start that group message between Chaz and Oliver to put them down. After this conversation, we get an alert and it is time for the ratings. Now, y'all know when they cut to everybody seeing how everybody is voting, yeah, it's not looking good for Tamira and Marvin. After all the ratings have been locked in, they get another alert. And it is revealed to the cast that there has been a hacker among them. And one message was not as it seemed. Everybody is speculating who the hacker is, but Sam is the only one that puts it together that Jen was the hacker, but she's in denial of her own thoughts. Now, my mom always told me, go with your first thought because it was given to you for a reason. Now the ratings are in, and we have Tamira in 8th, Marvin in 7th, Jen in 6th, Tom in 5th, Oliver 4th. Now, as a newbie, he's doing very well. I'm proud of his work. Chaz is in 3rd, which means Sam and Raven are the influencers, Sam being 2nd and Raven being 1st. Now, Marvin is stressed when he sees that Raven is the influencer, but he is still kind of hopeful that she has forgiven him. I personally think this was slight production. Because of the information that Sam received, I feel like they wanted to put her in an influencer position in hopes of kind of like rigging the game against Jen. I'm going to just be honest. Now, before Raven and Sam go to the influencer circle, Sam reaches out to Chaz in hopes of getting some advice because she's never been an influencer before. So after Chaz gives her advice on how to vote, Chaz brings up the hacker situation. And Sam says, well, I've only spoken to you and Raven, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. And Chaz is looking like, hell nah, bitch, you ain't talk to me. Chaz looked at that TV screen like, Chaz, like, you ain't talk to me. So Chaz knows that his profile was the one that was indeed hacked. And then they're all like, oh my God, who could have done this? And I'm thinking like, come on, Sam, you said it earlier, bitch. Jen did it. And then they finally put 2 and 2 together. Now, Chaz is a different type of breed. Chaz wants to add Jennifer to the conversation. I was like, oh my God, he is the messy person that used to call on 3-way and be like, see, bitch, I told you that. I told you that she ain't like you. This Chaz, I'm getting the vibe. And when Chaz wanted to add Jen to the conversation, Brett is like nervous AF, okay? We are not ready for the drama. So Jen decides that they're going to lie, and I think that they should have just owned up to it and said, I had the position to be a hacker, and I wanted to share the information about Tamira in a way that was disguised. Because in the newbie revolution chat, Tamira was gung-ho and down for the cause. I would have just owned up to it from jump. But Jennifer denied it, okay? And Sam knows that Jennifer is lying because she had a little hiccup and that was like incorrect with the timeline shit or whatever. So Jen tries to throw it all on Oliver instead because Oliver was another newbie that came in at the same time. So maybe Oliver is the hacker. And Chaz is falling for all of Jennifer's bullshit. But Sam is not. And I'm like, good thing that Sam is the influencer and not Chaz, because Chaz would have just sent Oliver home. Well, we get an alert and it is time to block. So Raven and Sam head to the influencers circle chat. Now, Raven mentions that Tom reached out about Marvin bragging about Tamira and that she still doesn't trust Marvin. Now, Sam agrees. She's like, okay, you should never trust him. He's a dog. But then Sam also drops the jewels that Jen and Tom have been hiding things, and Sam wants Tom, Jen, and Marvin on the block. So those are the three people that they are debating on blocking. Now, Tom and Jen stood strong in defending Sasha, despite not knowing her for a long time. And Marvin is just a dog. Now, Raven is like, all this other stuff is new information to me. The only thing I know for sure is that Marvin is a dog. And I'm thinking, take out your competition. Marvin is not going to win this game. Y'all can leave him in, and it's just beneficial for your alliance. Especially if y'all just got word that there might be a newbie rebellion alliance going on. You need to keep all of your OGs. So I'm like yelling at the screen like, y'all better do the right fucking thing. So we get an alert. And Raven is delivering the message. The moment I saw that Raven is delivering the message, I didn't think it's because she was the number one influencer. I thought it's because she wants to be the one to tell Marvin, bitch, you going home. So I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, bro, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. And then she mentions that trust was the main issue that they kept conversing about in the influencer chat. And the person they decide to block is, before we get to episode 11, I want y'all to hit that subscribe button, especially if you are enjoying my commentary thus far. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. Did y'all enjoy the hacker tease for these couple of episodes? I really feel like it amped the show up, and it needs to be like this from day one, maybe even day 2. So if the circle needs to start throwing twists and shit like that early on in the game, so the gameplay can be like activated, that's what they need to do for next season. All right, let's go ahead and get into episode 11 and see who Raven and Sam decide to block. And it's Marvin, y'all. They decide to block Marvin. I screamed so loud, like this is a dumb ass decision. I am now going to input a live clip of my live reaction when I saw that they blocked Marvin. No! How do you block Marvin? What? Oh my God. Make sure y'all follow my Instagram page at Themoviebae. Okay, it's in the description. Anyways, I was really, really upset by this decision. So, of course, Marvin gets to see a player, and of course, he chooses to go see Raven. They talk about the love triangle, but then Raven mentions that Tom solidified that Marvin's behavior was inappropriate. And Marvin was like, wow, so Tom reached out to you? Maybe Tom was the hacker. So Marvin says that maybe Raven needs to watch out for Tom because it seems like he's being untrustworthy. The news feed is updated, and Marvin's message is stick with the players that are sticking with you. And I think it was Sam, because she was like, Marvin thought Tom was cool with him, but Tom was underhanding Marvin unbeknownst to him. So Xanthi is thirsting over Marvin, okay? And I'm thinking like, girl, you better back up off Raven, man. But then again, Raven don't want him anymore. So guess it's up for grabs. Circle chat opens, and Chaz isn't feeling Oliver anymore because Oliver makes a joke, and Chaz is just not in the joking mood because one of his good friends just went home. Raven says that Marvin's personality is the same as in person as he is on his profile, and he just made a bad decision. And I'm thinking like, yeah, Tom, he just made a bad decision, Tom. Speak that shit, Raven. I was like, Tom. Like, I love when people play the game, but don't play the game on my favorite players. Don't do that. So Chaz is saddened by Marvin leaving, and he lets the group know that it was the wrong decision. And I agree. And Sam does too. I feel like since Sam, you were an influencer, and I really feel like she let Raven punk her in the influencer chat, no cap, because you should have pushed more for your new founding information versus trying to get rid of Marvin, who really doesn't affect y'all game in no way. And Raven, you got to think past your feelings. Like, Marvin was a man who was sorry and saying that I'll do anything to get back in your good graces. You should have been playing Marvin like a pawn. You should have been like, rate this person like this, rate that person like that, make sure I'm number one. You should have been using Marvin, bro, to your advantage, because he's trying to get back on your good graces. Like, Marvin was nothing but an asset to you, but you rather act off of emotion and send him home. It makes no sense to me. And Sam should have pushed harder to have her suspicions solidified. Anyways, Tom says that he's down to be honest and open and clear up any questions that they have about the newbie rebellion. So Chaz says, yeah, so while we at it, why didn't you mention the rebellion while we were doing the blocking ceremony? And when I tell y'all Chaz is a messy queen, Chaz is a messy queen. Like, don't get it confused. He ain't open and honest. He want to put all the tea out on the table, baby. That is as messy as it can get. He adding people to the group chat. He calling people out in public. Chaz is messy, but everybody loves him. He playing the game, bro. Anyways, so as a repliance to that, Tom says the rebellion chat was shut down so quick that he didn't even think to mention it. And they are mad that Tom and Jen both never mentioned it at all throughout any of the conversations. So some things that I noticed after this conversation, Jen says that the three OGs, Chaz, Sam, and Raven, will never trust the four newbies, Jen, Tom, Oliver, and Tamira. So if they were smart, the newbies would actually form that newbie alliance right now, since y'all have the numbers. I don't get what's so confusing about that. Now, something I also heard during this chat is Brett. Brett said something like, everybody's only got a message or two left. And I'm thinking, because I think he was like waiting for the conversation to be over. So I'm thinking, like, are they on a message maximum, like every chat conversation? Like, you only get 5 times to send a message? And it made me think, like, that makes so much sense why the conversations end quickly. Granted, half of them are boring anyways. But it's like, you only get, and I'm just throwing out a number, 5 messages per chat to say something. Damn. I don't know. Like, I feel like gameplay, the circle is fucked up for that. And I don't know why they had that rule and why they had that limitation, but they need to tweak that rule. I don't think I like that too much. So private chats for this episode, Raven decides to message Jen. Now, Raven asked if Jen knew or had an idea on who the hacker was, and Jen deflects, which is what Raven didn't want her to do. So Raven thinks that Jen is hiding something. Tom decides to mess in chats. What? Girl, my what is wrong with my mouth? Tom decides to message Chaz, and Tom feels bad for not speaking up and offers his hacker story or whatever about Jen saying that Tamira was acting weird, and Chaz says that his profile was hacked, and Tom is becoming suspicious of Jen. There is a game in this episode, but it doesn't really matter. It's called Dress to Impress. Chaz wins, and he picks Sam to go on a hangout date. And Oliver is upset because Oliver has a crush on Chaz, so he thought he would be chosen. So Oliver says he is going to tank Chaz in his ratings. Continuing on with the private chats, Oliver decides to message Tamira, and they share their LGBTQ journeys in the Black community. In the Black Christian community. So that's like a double negative. And then Tom messages Jen. It's so funny. Tom starts off the message with, "We need to talk." My heart would have sank right then. Oh my God. He says, "Be honest. Are you or were you the hacker?" Brett wants to deny. Xanthi wants to be honest. I personally think they should be honest, because if you just be honest and tell what the objective was and who you want to throw under the bus because of the correct reason, like just be honest, I feel like it wouldn't be a problem. So she tells Tom that she was the hacker, and she also adds in an LOL emoji. And Tom is like, "This is not funny. Why is she laughing?" And, of course, saying that Tamira was indeed the goal. Now, Tom is upset, and he knows that everybody is on his head about not being honest, so he wants to now be honest, and he's debating on should he remain loyal to Jennifer and keep this secret, or if he should be honest this time, like the group is mad at him for not doing, and if he should share his information with the group. So now it is episode 12, and it's Love Day. The players get to share love and positivity. Hard skip on everything. Hard skip on everything. They get their home videos, okay, and then we get an alert. I'm sorry, y'all. I came with the lovey-dovey shit, like, over that. But I feel like it was a good production mix. Like, oh, it's all happy and positive. Now it's time to rate. Back to happy and positive. Now it's time to block. So I do like that contrast. But anyways, let's just get to the blockings, because that's what we're here for. The lowest rated player will be blocked. And the circle actually lets the cast know this before they start their ratings. Now, this is when strategy comes into play. This is when you get the most popular player out, especially if you are a low ranking player, okay? Now, this is where I fuck with Brett and his Big Brother strategy. Now, I had never seen Big Brother before. Yes, I heard of the show. I've seen clips of Celebrity Big Brother online, but I never really knew what the show was. So over the past few days, I was watching the couple of seasons they have on Netflix of Big Brother, and I have a newfound respect for Brett, especially coming in 6th out of 14 people, okay? Now, Brett tells Xanthi, if we have any chance of staying in this game, we have to tank Tom in our ratings. Xanthi doesn't want to because Tom is their only alliance and that they'll need him. But Brett is like, if we don't do this, we're not even going to be here to use Tom for an alliance. So they have to rate Tom low. They go back to a party, and then after the party, the ratings are in. And they don't even tell who was the top influencer. They go straight to the last place. The picture flips over, and it is indeed Tom. And Xanthi is broken at first. Then she's happy that they're still in the game. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was like really, really shocked. At like episode 9, I was ready for Tom to go home because Don't Run Game are my favorite players. But when it came around to him being so apologetic for not telling the OGs about the alliance, and he really felt bad, and he was like on his apology campaign tour, I started to feel for Tom. And then getting stabbed in the back by your alliance is like, fuck, it's brutal. But man, I loved it because that is TV. That's good TV right there. So, of course, Tom gets to see one before he leaves, and he goes to see Jen. He finds out that it's 2 people, actually, Xanthi and Brett. And, of course, because he was a newbie, he had no idea who Xanthi and Brett were, okay? And during that conversation, I was like, I wonder if they're going to tell him that they tanked him in the ratings to save their own ass, and they did not. Now, Xanthi wanted to, but Brett was like, that never crossed my mind. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I have a newfound respect for Brett. Like, no cap. I like the gameplay. Okay. So after Tom goes home, Chaz gets his own private alert and is informed that he was the highest rated player. for like the 100th time in this game. And he also has the secret super influencer privilege, and he gets to block the final player tomorrow. I personally think he's either going to block Raven for strategic purposes or Jennifer, because why not? Everybody else is not a threat. Tamira's not a threat. Oliver's not a threat. Get rid of somebody that can really hinder you from winning this game. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel for this review. Be sure you hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed my commentary. Hit the thumbs up button as well. And leave a comment down below. I like to talk about this show, y'all. Like, let's talk strategy. Who do y'all think Chaz is going to block? Who are your final 5? Now, next Wednesday, I don't have a calendar in front of me. Y'all know when the show come back on. Next Wednesday, I plan on doing a live about 8 p.m. Central. Okay, so I want to review the show live on YouTube at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. at the latest. I will do a short on YouTube if anything changes. So make sure y'all subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can be alerted as to when I'm going live, when I am live. I would love to talk to y'all as I'm reviewing the final episode. Thank y'all so much once again for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. It's a date.